today. From TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator. Success, but in his case, it is.
Tua now on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there on the first play of the game.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tua. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there, nearly an opening drive INT.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. The numbers for him from a week ago: 23 carries, 98 yards, too shy of 100.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
He'll try again, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. They juked him, and he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
The numbers in last week's bowl game for Robinson: 17 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. And I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's complete. Okuebuna. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On first down, Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. And he comes back with one complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Cohen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
Running right through him. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive. We give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
This defense porous so far in this 1st quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Gonna give this time to the tailback. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. As we step aside here in this 1st quarter. On 2nd down, Singleton, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-0. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Now Lawrence on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And that last throw, CD, going to move him even further up that all-time passing leaderboard as he just moved beyond Broadway Joe Namath at 27,663 yards. And that's impressive because Joe Namath, my goodness, he could throw a football. I mean, it was just gorgeous the way he threw it. Rallied his Jets to a Super Bowl win, one of the greatest upsets in NFL history. Broadway Joe, the man. Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage. From the 38, Lawrence. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. 21-0 our score after one. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. 3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out. It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now. They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line. So what's your definition of ideal? The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case. When you're backed up this deep, sometimes defenses sacrifice coverage for pass rush because they know you can only go so far on your pass drop. You've got the back of the end zone. So they came after him. He took the shot downfield. He didn't connect. But, boy, that was force against force.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 46 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs, 83 yards. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here this first half.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On second down now, it's Robinson, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And that is is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that drops it from 28 to 25. So the third drive's the charm. They are on the board, albeit with just a field goal.
Yeah, 3 points from 3 drives. That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games. Hopefully the fact they were able to move the ball a little bit can wake up their offense.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he...
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami. Defense blitz, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He finds his man complete. That's Blake. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll run on first down. It's Robinson, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the run, it's Robinson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 53 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
It's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And a catch right side by Evans. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on this. Second, it brings up second. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Miami. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He's going to take another shot here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run here with Robinson. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit, but first let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Chiefs. Former #1 overall pick Joe Burrow with a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Saquon Barkley, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously,
well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish. To start this third quarter, turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
On first down, Singleton. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 61 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Lawrence. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Here's Lawrence. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush. What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Lawrence will throw. And that's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That's complete to his running back, Evans. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll run on 1st down. Singleton, and able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And to give this time to the tailback. Fights through and now a crease. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Miami. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run the counter. Mullins. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they'll run again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Dolphins go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. They'll run it now with Robinson. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taken on the 25. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess. It kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
On first down, Singleton. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 36. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Watch the screen. 31's the mic. 65.
On 3rd down, Singleton. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, we got 3 down.
They'll run on first down. It's Mullins. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 2nd down, it's Blake, and he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Now Lawrence to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up fourth down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, good footwork on the spin. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's been solid on the ground. He's found some holes.
The gaps that are being created and wedged open, and we always talk about where the gaps are in an offensive line, and we've named them, right? The A gap between the center and the guards, and the B gap between the guards and the tackles, and so on. They're there. And in today's running game, plays are designed to go to a certain spot, but if you have vision and you see the gap is open somewhere else, that's when the good running backs take advantage.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They run the counter. Singleton. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3.
They run the counter. It's Mullins. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. Now a first carry for their fullback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
3 down. 31's the mic. Hey, me and you all day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's get off the field, D. 31's the mic. Tighten up. Pull it together.
They run the counter. Singleton. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more.
And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence to Evans on the slant. And a nice pickup there as he'll get about 9, and that will lead us to a stoppage here at the 2-minute warning.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Here's A.J. Cole now,
standing just about on his own goal line. He'll take it at the 42. Ooh, the juke. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
They run the counter.
Singleton.
And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On 2nd down now, it's Blake. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.